Hey, I'm the Hellhound, Mitch Malik, one half of the Bruisers, and we're on Drinking at Most.
This is Drinkin at Mo's, where we talk about the pros of pro wrestling in the Midwest while sipping on some brews with blessed beers and wrestling. That's my scene. Death matches and lucha libre, it's all so mean. I'm a straight up smart goofball, not no kiss ass. I stand tall when it comes to wrestling. I'm the king. I know every move, every fling. Get ready for a wild time with Drinkin at Mo's, where we don't quit. Drinkin at Mo's, that's where it's at, like a power bomb. We hit hard, never flat. Fucking right, we're living the dream. Talking about wrestling, always a scream.
All right, everybody, taking time out before we get this show started. I want to thank Reaper Apparel for having Drinkin' Mo's be a brand ambassador for their clothing line. They got good stuff. They got t-shirts, they got hoodies, they got beanies, they got lots of great stuff, encouraging everybody to break out of their comfort zone, live their best self, and hey, it's something I try to live every day. Now, be sure when you go and you're filling out your order, use the code Drinking at Mo's, get 10% off, and the link and the code will both be in the description. Let's fucking go. All right, everybody. Welcome, Drinking at Mo's. Big Mo here. You know the drill. YouTube, like, subscribe, share, comment, all that good shit, because YouTube's algorithm is still a pain in the ass. For most places, you can find your audio podcasts too, the major ones and all that stuff. Today, I'm excited to have with me, back for another round, the Hellhound Mitch Malik. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good, man. We got a long drive tonight. Me and my girlfriend going down to a wedding. So if y'all hear any cussing in the background, it's their road rage.
I know how it goes. I've had a few cases of that the last week or so myself, so I get it. So yeah, I'm excited to have you back on. I know a few things have changed here. I've got more stuff added behind me. My friend gave me this, which I'm
Nice. I can't even. That's so shiny. I can't even see what it is. Oh, nice.
the
Oh,
whole
damn.
title belt and everything. I'm like, okay. And then I got a couple shows I'm excited that I'm going to be going to for one is for Sammy Callahan's promotion Revolver,
Ooh,
going
yeah.
the Cage of Horrors show, so that's going to be fun. And then actually a week from tomorrow, AEW Collision is right across town from me.
Oh, nice.
And I got third row right behind the announce desk.
Ooh, sick. They'll probably be able to see you on camera then.
Yeah, I'm bringing this with me.
Yeah, we'll see that in the beard, man. We'll know it's Mo.
Oh yeah, one or the other is going to give me away.
Right.
So you have a pretty big summer coming up.
Yeah.
I know. Actually, I saw one show promoted on your Facebook page that, as of this recording, happens tomorrow for Chaos Wrestling. I know I recognized it because a mutual friend of ours, Schwartzy, was on the picture.
Chaos, no, I don't think we'll be at Chaos tomorrow. I mean, because
Oh,
I'm on the.
yeah, because you got the wedding.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
got
we're
the
not on Chaos. You may have seen. Oh, we originally booked on the show Chaotic Combat Wrestling tomorrow. It was going to
ah
be up near Chicago, but it got postponed till June 22nd.
yes, Chaotic Combat Wrestling. I did see that one
Yeah, and that
advertised for like the second, and then it got switched to the 22nd.
yeah, no, the 22nd is going to be cool though because it's in Chicago. It's like one of the convention centers there. I can't remember the name, but
Yeah, I'm trying to remember the
it's
name
going to
of
be
it.
going to be at a horror convention.
Ooh, oh, I did see that, like a
That's
gore fest or something.
Yeah, that's what it is, Gore Fest. And then we got Chainsaw Tony from New Japan's going to be in the main event, and Joe Gardner from the old ECW days.
Okay.
He's gonna be on commentary with Peapod.
Oh, nice, nice, nice. And you know what? Speaking of that, one thing that I got coming up in August that I'm excited about, I'm actually making my commentary debut for a friend who is putting on a benefit show for, suicide prevention awareness. So he was like, I would really love to have you on. I'm like, just tell me when.
Commentary's fun.
Yeah.
We've done it just to play around sometimes. And like I have a friend. He's actually trained to wrestle, but he had to take a step back because he got injured. He's
Mm.
blind, and I used to go with him to the OVW shows in Louisville, and I would just sit there and commentate to him, tell him everything that was going on in the ring, and
Hey,
that's when I figured
that,
out I could talk.
hey, that's a good way for people with that particular issue to still be able to enjoy the shows.
Oh,
Definitely.
yeah, man. He loved them.
That's
Shout out
that's
to Cam.
awesome. The main event for the show that I'm commenting for actually has cheeseburger.
A cheeseburger.
Yeah.
That sounds fun. I've been
Oh
really getting
yeah.
into like I've been really getting into that type of wrestling, like DDT over in Japan and stuff, where it's
Mm.
just like really fun, comical stuff. I've been watching a lot of that lately.
Oh god, they got some really entertaining stuff over there with
Yeah.
them in particular. Like some of the stuff I've seen the clips of, I'm like, what the how the hell did they come up with that?
Dude, there's some of them where I'm like, how are they able to do that spot while in that costume?
Yeah. So you were mentioning before we started recording, there is a lot going on with Flophouse wrestling this summer. I
Yeah,
am I'm excited. I've seen at least one show
mm,
posted
yeah.
about,
We did a show
and
on May 18th, Shine Like Wizard, and that is where we became the Flophouse Tag Team Champions.
nice.
Yeah, so they were held by Midwest Scum, which is Zach Thomas and Dread King Logan.
Hmm.
Dread King Logan got injured, and we were set up to do a fatal four-way tag match with the Goons, the Squatting Dragons, and the Original Sins. And the winner of that was going to be number one contender anyway. So since Dread King Logan separated his shoulder, they decided just to make it for the belts, and we came out on top.
Hey, that's all right. Unfortunate about the person's injury, but hey, you
I
you got the straps, so hey.
It's unfortunate because like we've been building up with the Midwest Scum for over a year. Like we attacked them last year at the old Miami show after they retained, and we really wanted that match against them because it was going to be a big payoff for us because
Oh,
fighting for it. But still, we've been at Flophouse for 2 years and we've been chasing the belts. Our first tag team match there was against Shortsy and Kenny Urban for the
hmm.
tag title. We lost, of course, but we came back 2 years later and now we have them.
Hey, perfect. Yeah. And you know what? Maybe you aren't getting that match with Midwest Scum right now, but when that guy comes
Dread King.
back from the injury, oh yeah, no, I can imagine.
They're gonna come. They're gonna
Especially,
come for us. They're gonna come
oh
for
yeah,
us.
oh yeah,
Especially
no,
because we're getting up in that Michigan area more and more. And that used to be their stomping grounds. They're gonna go away, and it's gonna become the Bruiser stomping grounds.
mm, yeah. Whenever somebody comes into somebody else's territory, there's always that little bit when you come back, especially
So
from an injury.
there are a lot of teams in that area. 'Cause, there's like the Pillars, Tommy Vendetta, and Malcolm Monroe. There's a team called Grim Reality doing a lot up there, and a few others. But that's where Flophouse is home to now. They're Michigan. They're Detroit now. That's Randy and Short team moved up to Detroit. So we've
Oh yeah.
got already a couple shows booked. So the next show will be at the old Miami again. July 27th. Facing Zach Thomas. Uh,
You're
from
cutting out there.
sorry, I must have lost the signal.
see here. My yeah, no worries. The
Yeah, being in
issues that come up with recording while on a road trip, shit happens.
yeah, right. But as I was saying, so Zach Thomas, a Midwest scum, found himself a new partner, and he joined 440 Yellow. So
Mm.
he's going to tag with Gregory Iron to challenge for the Flophouse belts at the O Miami on July 27th.
Ooh, yeah, that one, that show in
Match.
itself is
I don't know
shaping
if
up
you
to
know
be.
much about 440. But no, you
I
should. You've seen Revolver.
Yeah,
So
no,
like,
I
yeah,
know I
so,
know a little bit about those guys. Yeah.
yeah. So Zach from Midwest Scum, he joined them since now he doesn't have Dread King to pal around with. So he's going to come challenge us. But the old Miami, yeah, I don't know if you saw that show last year. No fucks given one. Uh,
It's been a while since I've watched
well, it
any
was
bit of
wild.
it.
It was wild. It ended with some death matches. There were titties. Some fan jumped in the ring and flashed everybody.
Ah,
Uh, some of the guys were drunk, very, very drunk. It was a crazy match show. No fucks
no,
given too. July 27th. Gonna be twice as crazy.
no, I can only imagine. Hell, if that happened the first damn time, holy
And it's
shit.
gonna be, and so that venue's so cool too. So it's like a little bitty dive bar in Detroit. It's apparently a really old dive bar. And then they have this big backyard area with big fenced in, all this like cool chairs and artwork sitting around. We put the ring right back in there and we just have a ball.
You know what? That actually sounds similar to a venue that for Mid Death Pro, they ran a venue they ran here in Omaha, where I
Mm.
ended up having. I have footage of this moment where like they had a chair bridged on these bar stools, and there was this ledge up top. Well, the
Oh
guy
shit.
laying on the door was, once the guy leaped, he rolled off the door. The door went with him, and the guy jumping went smack.
Ooh. I've actually had that happen before myself. That hurts.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
no, I definitely after that match ended, I was going up to the guy like, "You all right, man?"
I did it one time. We were just in a venue in Indianapolis that was really small, and when the guy rolled off the door went with him, and I was doing like a cactus jack jumping elbow off the apron.
Mm.
I squeezed up my body so my ribs didn't land on it, but my elbow hit so hard on the corner of the door that I have nerve damage to my elbow now.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, my hand goes numb randomly. It sucks.
Yeah, no, I have that same feeling in my same sort of deal in my right hand.
Yep,
I,
it's my right
I
hand
when
too.
I was still playing football, I broke my wrist and a few bones below my thumb,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, no, that got my hand trampled, and yeah,
Ooh.
no, it's still randomly I like.
Yeah, that's what happens if I'm sitting on it too long when I'm driving or something, like on my elbow. My fingers start going numb.
Oh, I can only imagine. Now, you mentioned there's other
Well,
stuff. There are other stuff coming up this summer with Flophouse because
they got more. I think there's so Flophouse just does the shows during the summer, so it's when they do a lot. So
yeah.
as of right now, the only other show they have advertised that I can talk about is gonna be called Bad Motherfucker. It's the same weekend that RPW is doing their King of the Kill weekend or tournament.
Okay.
So King of the Kill is on Saturday. Bad Motherfuckers Friday night, and then after Bad Motherfucker, Schwartzy and Darren McCarthy are going to have a big smoke out for everybody. So it's going to be a lot of fun. It's in like maybe Michigan, I think. It's a really
Okay.
cool. It's a venue where they have a VFW, but they just got this big open field. They set it up like a music festival.
Nice. That
Yeah.
definitely sounds like a fun time.
So we
And
don't have opponents announced for that yet, but we will be there as I can. I mean, we do have a couple title defenses, but we're going to keep them.
oh yeah, no, I'm definitely confident in you guys on that. And
Man, 2 years working on those belts, you're gonna have to rip them from our hands and kill us.
oh god, kind of reminded me of how I described Tomohiro Ishii when he's walking to a ring with a belt. He just has that look like you will have to damn near kill him to take that from him.
Yeah. That's we kind of adhere to like the old school guys, man. Like we fought our asses off for those belts. So if you want to beat us, you better be able to beat us.
Oh, that, oh God, who was it that it was actually said recently where it's like, if you want to take your shot, you damn well better not miss.
Exactly.
That same sort
And
of thing, yeah.
I don't know if how well Zach and Gregory work together, but it's not our first title defense though. It was advertised that way, but last week we got to have a special one. So you may have seen it advertised. It was good. The show was called Indie Death Crew. Hell needs more people like you.
Oh, I was just gonna bring that up actually.
So I really want to talk about this one because it was a really fun special show.
Hey, let's
Hoodfoot,
do it.
Hoodfoot was the one that was promoting the show. Hoodfoot,
Okay.
as you I talked about him last time, we're very close to him. He's like he could go on the road with him a lot. He treats us like his kid brothers because we honestly, us two, a friend of ours, Gigi Jacob and Hoodfoot, we would do anything for each other. So as soon as he had the idea, he hits me up, man, we're gonna do this, and I already got your opponents. And it was KOBK, which is Killer Be Killed, a Tennessee team. You've heard of Hardway Heater and Sean Campbell. They do
Oh yeah.
Surfless Sticks, Chattanooga. Good team, great team. And it was a no ring bar fight, man. And it was me. Oh man, so fun. Like you see these cuts up here?
Yeah, I was gonna say those look a little fresh right there.
About a week old now. Last Friday night.
Wow. All
Yeah,
right.
I'll send you some clips later after we talk. But the Heater and Sean brought these vinyl records, and that was the main weapon, and we were just smashing them over each other's heads. And it was technically for the belts, but we didn't even finish the match. We fought outside the bar, around the building, and they just called it.
Hey, that sort of stuff happens. I know I've been to a couple no ring death match shows, and yeah, there's been some that end up going like that. Like the fight just goes outside, and then one time it ended by a pinfall. Another time it was just, I guess
Yeah.
they're off that way now.
Yeah, so that show, I think there were 6 matches total. It was there was us, then there was Short Scene Randy versus the Pillars,
Mm.
Malcolm MM3 and Tommy Vendetta.
Ah,
The
yeah.
main event was Hoodfoot versus Eric Dillinger in a all glass death match. They were the only ones that used glass on the whole show.
Ooh.
And then there was Satu Jin versus Gigi Jacobs, and
Okay.
a very special match that I know you'll love. Remington
Okay.
Roar versus King Kong.
Ooh.
King Kong, as in somebody in a King Kong suit. You've got to watch it. It's going to be put on IWTV here soon.
Okay.
And
Yeah, I'm gonna keep my eye out on that.
it is a fun one. It is. Oh, that bar is also really cool. I don't know if you watched the Flophouse No Ring last year, FLP Punk. It's the
You
same
know
bar
what?
we
I
did.
don't know if I'm trying to remember when I actually
It
became aware of Flophouse because it was
it was like
right
last.
around the time before I talked with Schwartzy the first time. So I was trying to
Yeah,
remember how far
this
back
was
that was.
this would have been July of last year.
Oh,
You can go back and watch it now. It's a good one. We faced Josh Crane and a guy named Brutus Dillon in a no ring tag match. It was our first. It was actually our very first death match. Our very first
no.
no ring death.
Okay. Yeah, no, I'm
Yeah.
definitely gonna have to keep an eye out on that one.
And
You
actually,
know.
something special about that. That night, I
Oh, yeah.
wore a white Velvet Underground shirt, and I wore that shirt again this past Friday because it was in the same building.
Okay.
Yeah,
Wait a minute. Was this what? Like, did you
that'll
make
be
a post on Facebook about this? About the
yes.
shirt?
So that shirt. I had washed it from the first time I wore it. Hadn't worn it since. Had maybe a small blood stain on it. I bled so much this past Friday that entire shirt is now red. And a fan has already bought it. I'll be making a post about that here soon. She was one of the ones at the show, and as soon as I made that post, she contacted me, and it's now sold.
Hey, all right. Now, you we talked about, you have a few shows uh coming up. you know, having a
So
big summer. I believe what was the other one? Chaotic Combat
yeah,
that
so that's
is
gonna
going to
be
be
in a
on the
horse.
22nd now.
Yeah, and then next weekend, June 8th, for John Boyer Productions JBS, we're going to be going for his tag team titles at a amusement park show, Indiana Beach
Hmm,
Park. So that's really cool. It's one of the oldest amusement parks in the country.
no kidding. That'll
Yeah,
be a fun one.
I didn't know Indiana had a beach, but we get to wrestle there. So,
Yeah,
uh,
you might find it hard to believe, but hell, even Nebraska has a couple.
really, I mean, Kentucky. I found some in Kentucky lakes too. Because I mean, Kentucky has a lot of lakes, and most of them have a couple beaches. So it always surprises me.
Oh yeah, hell, my wife's uncle has a spot out at one of the lakes near here, so a
You just
lot
never
of the
think
time
about
we'll
like.
go
I,
there.
I guess I guess I don't think you always think ocean when you say beach. So I always think lake, and I
Yeah,
don't think beach.
yeah, you don't think of a beach at a lake, but they have those areas like that. Yeah. So,
We got that. We haven't been announced yet, but I do believe RPW is doing a show in Chicago next month,
mm,
in July. So we should be there too. If not on the show,
RPW.
we'll be hanging out. We like
Okay.
we like Chicago too much to not show up.
Oh hell. Last time I was even last time I even spent any significant amount of time in Chicago was when I went to Navy boot camp because it's just north of there.
that that might not have good memories for you though.
I mean, I got some memories of it for sure. But the last time I was in Chicago was literally I was on my way flying to Nashville, and before I left Omaha, the plane changed gates two times. It changed another time on the way to Chicago, and it changed another time after I had already gotten to that gate. And then we ended up having to wait for about 45 minutes after we boarded for the crew to even get there because they were on the other end of the airport.
Oh man, so I've
That's
actually never been on an airplane yet. So
that's O'Hare for you.
really, yeah,
Yeah.
Louisville, the area around where we live at, it's close to the airport, at least where we live at, and I've been there a couple times, like because I drove like Lyft and done taxi work since I, just something to make money. And I always
Yeah.
get lost. Every time I'm picking somebody up, I got completely turned around and on the other side of the airport somehow.
That stuff happens. Now, I was curious about chaotic combat wrestling. We talked about the RPW one, and well, actually, June June 8th. I saw a show that you had shared about.
That's the
It
one I'm
was
talking about, the Indiana Beach Park.
okay. The Hall of the one where I saw Shane Douglas and Hernandez on the
Oh
poster
no,
for.
no, no, no. No, that's a different one then. This one, I'm not on a show with them. You not sure what that one was.
Yeah, I thought you were probably tagged in it or something, but I saw that and I'm like, okay,
That
Shane Douglas, that's
that
interesting.
would be that would be really cool. I've never met him before. I would like to get to know him and pick his brain if I had a chance.
Oh,
But
that definitely.
we were talking. You said chaotic combat. Yeah, that'll be June 22nd at at Gore Fest in Chicago, and I'm excited for that because me and Robbie, my Robert, my tag partner, we love horror movies, and like a
Mm.
few months ago, we did a show in West Virginia just because it was next to this town in Kentucky that was doing a horror fest, and us and Madman Pondo went, and so much fun. We, we
Ooh.
we spent our entire pay that weekend on stuff at the horror convention, all three of us.
I can imagine hell horror movies and deathmatch hardcore wrestling
They go
they just
together.
fit together.
So it's the blood. It's the fact that most of us got the ideas. Like some of the deathmatch ideas we get are from horror movies.
But then, yeah, I can see that. especially
I
some of
mean,
those slasher movies. Some of the stuff
mhm,
that, yeah, I can see some
yeah,
death
I'm
match
excited.
ideas coming from that.
So also that show on the 22nd, like I said, they've got I think it's Chainsaw Tony coming from New Japan in. He's going to be the main event, and I'm hyped to meet him. He's like the Leatherface, the new
Oh
the
yeah,
new
yeah,
the
I
new
saw it.
Leatherface.
That is going to be nuts. And you
And then
mentioned,
Joe Gardner from the old ECW days is going to be on commentary. So that's cool as shit.
well.
The quintessential man. Ugh.
Man,
We
that
were,
is,
we were at just me and Robbie was just watching some old I think they were FMW. They were some no, they were ECW ones. They were like these they were called like the unreleased ECW DVDs, and it's
yeah,
him, Missy Hyatt. They're doing like the in betweens like FMW used to do on their old tapes,
yeah,
and it's hilarious because Joel is not acting like the ladies' man. He's acting like he's afraid of Missy, and Missy's just flirting with him hardcore, and we're just sitting here dying laughing because we're like, dude, by the end of this, she's gonna just bend him over. I don't know what's gonna happen.
yeah. Some of that stuff, and hell, some of the stuff that Joel would come up with back then, and
Mhm.
even some of the later days of ECW, it's like he would not be able to get away with that right now.
His whole character would not be allowed
Oh,
today.
yeah, no, that whole thing, yeah, he would get in some trouble.
hmm But I am excited that he's going to be doing commentary. I want to get his like, because we love doing hardcore wrestling. Our match that night is going to be against the guy named Bull Bronson and Brian Richards. They're called
Mm.
Blood Money. And
Okay, I've had Bull Bronson on
oh,
before.
okay,
One of my
sweet. Yeah,
early ones.
so you already know Bull. So it's us and his new tag partner, or us two versus them, and it's not going to be like a death match, but we're thinking like ECW hardcore.
Okay,
So
hey, I still like it. Right up my
so
alley there.
I'm excited to have Joe watch the match and ask him about it afterwards, just to get his like how do we compare, like anything he could give us. Because even though he's not a wrestler, he was ringside for some of the best ECW matches of all time.
Oh hell yeah! And somebody that has been around during some of those big moments, like he has been. Shit, it would be interesting to sit and pick his brain for a little bit.
Yeah, and since he literally is going to watch and get to break down our match, he can literally just sit down and be like, "Look, guys, you did this, this, and this. Here's where you need to do work." And when you have someone like that on the show and you don't take the chance to ask them that question, you're
Oh
done.
yeah, oh yeah. No, shit. If you got somebody that's been, on national television and has been on, hell, at one point ECW was like
Yeah,
one of the top promotions in the damn country. If you're
yeah,
not,
out of
if you got
nowhere
the
too.
chance to pick his brain, dude, go for it.
We do that kind of stuff when like we've been told to do that, but like actually doing it always so it's like last year we did a show and Doug Basham was like the big star on
Mm.
that show. And one half the Basham brothers, multiple time WWE tag champion,
Oh yeah,
um, tag team wrestler specialist, right? For us, that's
no,
perfect. But it's like not only do we do hardcore death matches, we wrestle. So like we're tag team wrestling. So like I look over, we did the pre-show and I look over and see that Doug is literally sitting there watching every single match up to his and up to the time he needs to, go talk to his opponent and stuff. As soon as I got the chance, ran over and asked him and he literally like gave us such good advice, just what we need to tweak to make ourselves just that much better. And we put that into that was before I talked to you, before we started doing a lot of bigger shows, and like his advice helped.
no, I can imagine, especially with the tag team experience there, like everybody that's been in there and has been on those stages, they all have different types of advice they can give. But when you're in a tag team and you have somebody like a Doug Basham that you can pick his brain for a little bit,
Yeah,
oh yeah. In
he's been at
uh
the high stage of tag team wrestling, and but he stayed there for a minute, and then he's still on the highest stage of like indie wrestling still, and
mhm.
you could tell he has so much knowledge. Why not just every time I get a chance?
Oh yeah, no, and that's one thing with the podcast. Whenever I've had people like we talked about ECW originals. I've had a few on. I've had oh Jason Knight. I've had him on. Uh, remember Lloyd Anoa'i told me about a match he had with New Jack where they were told not to go too crazy, having to pay back a building for damaging shit. Well, they both ended up going through a wall.
I love that.
And yeah, Paul Heyman was yelling at him something fierce after that match.
That's great.
Oh yeah.
Like, sometimes you just gotta go for it,
Oh yeah. No. I know, good Lord, if I ever got the chance.
Actually, you
Oh,
want to know something funny? Robbie went through a wall in Pittsburgh last March.
oh God.
He literally, like, it was right behind the entrance. He was checking the wall and he felt one and it was concrete. So he thought the whole wall was. And we're getting beat down after the match. And he tells the opponent, "Hey, throw me into that wall." Turns out that wall
Oh
was all
God.
plaster or drywall. He went straight through it, man. I'm laying
Oh
over there. They put me through a table. I'm bleeding. I'm just like, ah, selling. Dude comes over. He's like, "Your partner went through a wall." I'm just like, "The fuck did you just say?"
oh man. Like I've had visions of, you know, being involved in a match, and I think craziest one I've ever thought of that I would actually do would be like being on like a ring apron or like a stage, and then there's a table below it, and then both me and somebody else, like, they go to hit me or I grab them and we both end up going through the table.
Yeah.
That would be
I
something
want
I'd
to
be like, oh man, if I got the chance, hell yeah, let's do it.
I'd like that. So like I have a dream type of match that I want us to get in one day. So yeah, like I said, we like to watch a lot of like FMW and stuff.
Yeah.
They had this one version of the exploding barbed wire death match. I want to get rid of the explosion part, but I want to get rid of all four ropes, two sides facing each other, barbed wire, and then the other two sides completely open, and have like doors and different contraptions down there. And I want to do the spot where somebody moves or flips me, and I just go out to the opening and go through everything down there.
That would be epic. Oh my
Yeah, go
God.
for it.
I
One day.
hadn't thought of anything like that, but that would be pretty
I
cool,
think the character might surprise you, but we're very, very creative people.
But yeah, like holy crap, I have it playing in my head now of like
Mm,
some you going to, like
something. I'm not
kick
sure exactly.
you go to kick somebody, or like you go to
Drop kick, go for a spear, go for
or go
something, and
go
he
for a
just
spear or something like that, and then they just
not
move out of the way, and then you're like, oh
or
shit.
or just take a straight suplex from the apron off.
Ooh.
And I don't
Yeah,
know if you
that
know.
yeah.
Go on YouTube and watch some old FMW, man. They
No, I've seen
FMW
some.
got all their ideas from.
I've seen some. Like, was it FMW that did the crazy spot with Sabu and his uncle, where they like had rags soaked in kerosene and they lit them all on fire, but then they
Yeah,
had to like
the
get
ring was
yeah
too hot. The ring was too hot. Yep, that was on the dark side of the ring for FMW.
yeah. I was gonna say yeah, it was on there, and I heard about it before that episode, but
Oh, so
that's
what Rob
one of my favorite episodes.
So Robbie, my tag partner, he's that kid. He's still back. Like he still does tape collecting, like they're DVDs, but he's still a tape collector. He's actually in groups on Facebook and stuff, and he found this box set of all the FMW shows on it, and they've got the commentary translated to English, and we've sat for hours just watching stuff. They have some of the best women matches on there too.
Oh,
Combat Toyota. Oh, I can't
oof.
remember the name of the chick she faced. She wore pink and silver. She was a big deal, and this was like her retirement match. This girl was the bloodiest I've seen anyone, like Muda scale bloody.
Mm.
Like she was gushing in such a good match. But like yeah,
Oh,
he's got so many like stacks and bookcases full of DVDs and old tapes that he's found through Facebook groups and stuff.
yeah, I've got a pretty big binder full of DVDs of, I've
Yeah.
got a handful of independent stuff from when I was in California. I've
Oh,
got the
I think
countless.
some good stuff over in California.
Oh yeah, like I remember, and I know this one. They definitely wouldn't be selling anywhere out in the stores now, but hell, I've still watched it. The Chris Benoit documentary that they released shortly after he won the title at Mania 20.
Robbie's actually got that one too. But no, that's a really good one. 'Cause I saw that one when I was a kid when it first came out.
Yeah, I think
I
I
used to love
found it.
I used to love the like WWE character biographies they used to do.
Oh yeah, hell, even now, some of those documentaries that they've been
Dark
releasing
Side of
on
the Ring.
Peacock.
Yeah. Oh, I don't have Peacock, so I haven't watched many of those yet.
Oh, if you get the chance, the ones that I particularly enjoyed were the Cody Rhodes and the Bray Wyatt ones.
I heard the Bray Wyatt one was really good, like sad, good, but really
Oh,
good.
like you get towards the end of that one. Oh
Hmm.
yeah, it's a tearjerker.
I bet. I was gonna say like we mentioned it, the Dark Side of the Rings. Those are
Mm.
also probably some of my favorite like current wrestling documentary stuff that comes out.
Oh,
They just
totally.
so good.
Oh yeah. No, I the hell the two-parter they did on, well, we talked about Benoit, that whole situation. It was
That was
hard to watch, but still it was a really good one.
the one
Uh
that I felt like the hardest to watch was actually the one on Chris Canyon. That one made me so sad.
oh god, yeah. No, and hell, I've actually had the talk with people that are in the LGBT community that it's like, man, if we just wish that he would have been able to just hang on that little bit longer. Because if he
Hmm.
were still around now, seeing how much more accepted and welcoming
People,
it
yeah, they're
is,
much more welcome to this in wrestling now than they were 10 years ago, 20 years ago.
oh hell, just imagine him in like Effie's Big Gay Brunch or something.
Oh my God, dude. Yes, he would have. That would have been great to see. Even if it's
Oh,
just a guest spot, it would be great.
oh yeah.
Him
Um,
and Effie doing a match together.
oh, that would have been epic. But
Yeah,
my all time favorite Dark Side of the Ring though is the one on Bruiser Brody.
same. That's my favorite one too. Besides Chris Canyon, and then I gotta watch this new season because I hear some of the new ones are really good too.
The one on Sandman's pretty good.
Yes, you haven't seen that season yet. I just haven't had the time to sit down and watch them all.
Yeah, I've watched a couple here and there, but I haven't been able to, sit down and watch the whole season yet. But that
All
Sandman
right,
one's pretty damn good.
is it? I bet he had a long life or a crazy life. I met him
Oh,
once actually too. He did a Heroes and Legends show a couple of years ago that I helped out with in up in Fort Wayne, Indiana, at the Coliseum there. Pretty
okay.
cool guy. He's pretty cool. Fans loved him. He was really good. Like watching him interact with the fans was probably the most amazing part of it because I didn't expect it.
Mm, gotcha. All right.
Yeah.
So I have my two. Wait, you know what? Before we get into my two categories here, I wanted to go back to the Midwest Gore Fest.
Oh yeah.
Now, I've I'm not as into horror movies as a lot of people. Like some people I know, it's like it doesn't matter whether it's slasher or
Mm,
those like demonic possession, haunting sort of things.
yeah. See,
I
I watched a lot of horror yeah when I was younger, but since I've been like Robert is like super into horror too, so he's got me into a lot more stuff.
Yeah, I've basically stuck to either the Final Destination movies or the slasher ones like Halloween, Jason, and that sort
My
of
favorite's,
stuff. Because,
my
like,
favorite's Nightmare on Elm Street.
all that would be the other one because I remember, oh god, this must have been 2011 or whenever that last
But
one
the
came out.
remake they did. Yeah,
Yeah,
they changed
I
the
saw
actors and
that in the
everything.
theater in, I believe, Hawaii, actually.
I liked it, but like he wasn't Robert England.
No, when you are the original of an iconic character like that, it's kind
Hmm.
of hard to envision somebody else playing it.
Yeah, I mean dude's a really good actor. He's the one that played Rorschach in Watchmen. I don't know if you knew that or not, but
Okay, yeah,
like,
I it's been a while since I've seen it, but I remember seeing that one.
he's a really good actor. It's just like you said, it's always going to be compared back.
Oh yeah. Now I've I've got one convention here, you know, same venue that's going to be hosting Collision,
Nice.
and they they have a bunch of guests. That's actually where I met the guy that was behind Splinter in the first two Ninja Turtle movies,
Oh, hell yeah.
and the guy that voiced Michelangelo in the original cartoon.
Nice.
I met them both. Now, who, for those that, you know, might be in the Chicago area, who do they have coming there besides, obviously the wrestling show?
I cannot actually tell you that because I have not looked it up myself. I feel bad that
Ah,
I mean, I didn't do my own research.
yeah,
I have not. I didn't look into it. Hmm, I will look it up and we'll post it later, but can't speak on that.
yeah, no, but I imagine, hell, they
I
probably got
hope it's
some horror
being
movie
being in
people coming
being in
in there.
Chicago. I expect it to be some good ones. Like because when we went to one in Lexington, they had the original Michael Myers there. The dude who played Terrifier. I got to meet I'm a huge fan of is Tom Savini. He's a effects. He's actually the
Hmm.
guy that made the mask, his team for Bray Wyatt.
Oh,
Yeah,
that guy. Yeah.
yeah. So he's been in the horror industry for a long time. He does a lot of practical effects. Like he did the original Friday, or he did some of the Friday 13th. He did some of the Nightmare on Elm Streets. He's one of the best makeup artists in the still going, and I'm a huge fan because I really like special effects makeup. I don't do it myself, but I love watching shows and documentaries. And there used to be this contest show on Sci-Fi called
You know what? I
Face Off,
think I've heard of that one. Yeah.
and I got to meet him and get his autograph, and that was really cool.
That is
What else?
pretty awesome.
Um,
And oh, go ahead.
good ones there. But yeah, I assume since it's going to be one in Chicago, it should be some good
Oh,
ones there.
oh yeah, no, I imagine. Hell, we talked about the before we get into the categories. Oh, that burp. All right, but the you brought up that guy that made the Bray Wyatt stuff.
Yeah, Tom Savini.
There is actually a part at the end of the documentary where he gets to show Bray's brother the costume that he had designed for Bray that he never actually got to wear.
Oh shit. See, that's really cool. I definitely have to find a way to watch that now.
Oh yeah, I highly recommend that one. As much as the the ending, obviously a tearjerker.
I
The
mean, we already know the end. It's kind of like watching Iron Claw, man. We knew what the ending was. Didn't make it any less sad.
oh no, totally. And hell,
Uh,
the same thing with the Cody Rhodes one when they got to the part where Dusty was in his final days.
yeah,
Like you knew what was coming, but still, when he's explaining everything, it was oh, and for it's that one spoke to me because
losing.
I think
Yeah.
I might have told you the story that my wife and I had been pregnant with twin girls,
Mhm.
and we they weren't due until November, but they showed up in late July, and they only made it a week. But there
Oh
was
yeah.
like literally every single day of that week, there wasn't one of those days where I wasn't there. And the way Cody had talked about, you know, practically memorizing the routes you'd walk in the hospital and memorizing the
Mhm.
layouts and stuff. I lived it.
Yeah. No, that'll probably, yeah, because I think I also, we spoke about that a little bit because I told you about how I lost my dad like literally the month before my first match. So I could very much understand how that would get to you.
No, yeah. All right. So now I have my two categories.
All
And
right.
I'm hoping that I don't have the same people in the name game one as I did the last time. I'm
What's okay?
hoping
Hey, Mo, don't worry. I've been hitting the head a bunch since then, so I won't remember.
that, hey, all right. So each of these guys, big in death matches, but they've all also been on the show.
Mm.
First one took me a little over a year to get it done because it happened during that time I just talked about when I
Yeah.
first started talking to him. The Duke of Hardcore, John Wayne Murdoch.
So I do remember you mentioned him last time. Uh, I remember saying he was one of the best wrestlers out there, all around. But since last time I was on your show, I've been on more shows with John. I've gotten to know him actually. We've hung out. John's a really cool dude. Really quiet, and it takes a while to get him to talk to you, but really genuine, nice person.
You know, I've gotten that from my interactions with him. You know, it was fun getting to pick his brain, being the fan of that style that I am, and then
So
just
getting
some
to
of the
be around
story.
guys like sorry,
Hmm?
getting to be around guys like him, like because getting to know him more on a personal level, it makes me more comfortable asking advice and stuff. And he's actually given us some really good advice over the past few months since we've gotten to know him.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
Next one, and like I said, I'm not sure if I asked about him the last time, but we actually mentioned him a little bit ago. Madman Pondo.
I really love Pondo. He's done a lot for us. He's done a lot for a lot of guys. Like you've seen like Dale Patrick's Hardway
Yeah,
Heater, Satu. He's been helping a lot of American guys get over to Japan. He has been that connection for a lot of us that want to do that. And me and Robbie like to call him our deathmatch grandpa. That's how he feels to us. Like we've heard other people say it. He is very akin to the way people talk about Tracy Smothers, how he wants to help young
mm.
guys. So a lot of love for Pondo. Absolute
Oh,
legend.
oh yeah. He tried to downplay it when I called him a legend, but I'm like, dude,
He always
I
does.
I,
He
I,
always
res-
does.
I told him I respect you being humble about it, but when people think of a death match Mount Rushmore, more often than not, you're on it.
Right. Sorry, we just hit a really big pothole.
Oh shit, I know how that goes.
Yeah, we're
Omaha is
south,
pretty infamous for some of ours, so I
somewhere
understand.
south, somewhere in Tennessee. Oh
All
man,
right.
gas is under $3 down here. Damn.
Yeah, I think we're just over three here.
Up at home, it's almost four.
Oh boy.
All right, back.
All right.
Sorry, back to
Yeah, back to the category. The next guy, I actually own some signed ring worn kick pads of his.
nice.
The Blood Fighter, Alex Colon.
So I've never, well, no, you know what? I have met Alex personally once. He was at King of the Kill last year. Didn't really get a chance to talk to him much because I wasn't in that locker room. I was just helping out with the ring crew and building weapons. But the short interaction I had, really nice guy. Huge fan of his. You talked about last time we were on, talked about a match he had at Revolver with the
Yeah.
glass spot at the end. I went
No.
back and watched it after you told me.
Oh, I think
I
that
think
was actually Jake. No, the last time we talked, I think that was Jake and Joel Bateman. Jake, Chris, and Joel Bateman. But I have
we talked about it.
seen.
We talked about an Alex Clone match last time.
I'm trying to. I think that was the picture that I wanted to put with the kick pads.
Okay. But I'm a big fan of Alex Clone. I love his work, and I would love to get to work with him one day.
Oh yeah, but I have seen uh Alex Cologne live. I haven't the one time I tried to go talk to him, I was literally walking around the corner, and all of a sudden he didn't see me, so he's like going back inside. I'm like, well, shit. But he has been teaming up at Revolver with Macklin, Ricky Shane Page, and Killer Kelly. And
Mm, I'd be down
both
to face him.
times, well, yeah, both times they ended up going up against the Second Gear crew.
Oh, yeah, that's another team we really would love to work with.
Though
Answer, Manders, and Justice. Oh,
you
great
might be
match.
able to get Manders and
Justice,
Justice now. I don't know so much about uh
man.
Ma-
Manser,
Manster
Manser,
because
Manser actually worked in our area a lot because of the IWA days, and he's been
mm,
back there for some shows. We've met him a few times. He's a good dude.
oh yeah, no, I've got nothing but great things to say about all three of them.
Mhm.
Is the last time was in elimination games where they teamed up with Masha Slamovich against the team of, Ricky Shane Page, Alex, Macklin, and Kelly.
Mm.
And man, that match was nuts.
Well,
Absolutely insane. Like,
so like that's like a thing like I've said about our other matches we've had. Like fans, we'll see a lot because it's a tag team death match. Fans have trouble getting so much of it, like getting clips and pictures and stuff. But I kind of just take that as a compliment. They're more paying attention to the chaos than trying to get pictures.
yeah, no, hey, that is good. That's the way I kind of try to be. But yeah, there are moments where I'm like, I'll sense something's coming, and I'm like, oh shit, I gotta get this. All right. Last but not least on this category, it was an absolute pleasure having this guy on. He's H2O Hall of Famer, Low Life Louie.
So I did not get to meet or I've met Low Life Louie, but I ended up not being there Mania weekend when he did a match with Randy and Shorty. I'm a big fan of Louis. He's a legend. Like such a good worker, really nice guy. But so he had a red light district death match where he teamed with Redacted against Randy and Shorty. One of the dildos that was used in that match was provided by me, and Louis still has it because they put all the dildos in his bag. So
No,
eventually we'll get it back.
that is funny. All right. Now I got some random questions
All right,
and, give you the question, first answer that pops in your head.
all
The
right.
the first one, maybe there's another moment here since the last time I asked this, but craziest in match moment for you?
Oh, um, uh, that wall story. I'm gonna think of it. I've had a couple of new ones. Let me give me a second. Ah, you may have seen it back in March. We faced Randy and Shorty in a tag team death match for RPW, and a show
Hmm.
called Animosity. And Shorty tossed me off the turnbuckle onto a TV, and I expected this TV to break. And instead, I hit it, land on my butt, and the TV just falls over top onto me.
Oh,
And
Jesus. Yeah, that would
oh, actually,
that or that wall spot. Yeah, that.
this one, I just remember one that happened just a couple weeks ago. So we
Okay.
did a show in New Albany, Indiana for Paradigm Pro Wrestling. And me and Robbie, somebody did a front flip dive, like a swanton onto us to the outside. We caught him. And as we were going down, I hit my head on a fan's chair. And I was on the ground and my hands went numb for about 5 minutes.
Oh, Jesus.
So that was kind of there's two sides to that, a good crazy and a bad crazy. Because like the
E-
TV bump, as much as it hurt, the fans liked it a lot. But the going down off that sucked. So a little bit of two sides of the crazy.
No, definitely, definitely true. All
The
right,
crazy,
now,
the weirdest part about that paradigm thing where I went down, I thought I was only down for a minute, and it turned out to be about 5.
oh, jeez.
That was a fun
Wow.
hospital trip.
So all right,
Uh,
now I can't remember if I asked this the last time, but hell, maybe you got another thing you can add here too. But what is a weapon you would avoid being used in a match if you had the choice?
I do remember this one because it's the same answer as the last time. It's anything with wood.
Mm,
I Wood gets stuck inside, you get infections. It's very, very bad. Metal stuff and glass normally work its way out, or it doesn't normally give you real bad infections. So, like, yeah, it's gonna be toothpicks, skewers, wood.
mm,
Not saying I
yeah.
wouldn't like. I guess like if I was gonna do a match against Masada or Atticus Gogar, I'd probably be like, yeah, all right, for this one, I'll do the skewers, but normally it's gonna be a no.
Yeah, I can imagine for those special occasions, like a match against either one of those people, it's like, normally no, but for you,
It's an honor.
okay. It's almost like if you don't do that in a match against those guys, like
Like, what
the
the fuck, man?
fans will probably be leaving disappointed.
It's almost like, yeah, yeah, exactly.
All right. Now, my wife and I actually have both of these, but everybody has their way they lean. Dog or cat person?
I am more of a dog person. I have a dog, but my girlfriend has cats, so I have to do. I deal with both. We also have rats too. So
Mm,
I
yeah,
like little dogs. Rats are
my
basically
wife.
just
Oh,
sorry. Sorry, go ahead.
no, I was just gonna say my wife is constantly coming up with ideas of other animals she wants to get, and I'm like, some of them, I'm like, well, if you're gonna be the one dealing with them, whatever.
Yeah.
But like stuff like snakes and stuff, I'm like, I'm not touching that damn thing. But if you want to take care of it, whatever.
See, I don't mind rats because they have their own cage, and they, as long as you change it often, it doesn't smell bad. And they're basically just little puppies. You can pet them, rub their bellies, whatever they want. Or it
Yeah,
depends on how friendly the rat is, of course. Mine
true.
are
Yeah, but again, I'm more of a dog person myself. We only have one dog now, but my English bulldog, love him. We get
I love English
he's
bulldogs.
my type of mentality.
Yeah.
Literally, feed him, give him water, let him outside to do his business, and he's happy as hell just napping on the couch all day.
You know who has a really cute English bulldog? The promoter for Ruthless Pro, Chris Cohenberg.
Hmm.
He has a female, her name's Sport Shop, and he brings her like whenever we go for like he doesn't bring her to the show, but he leaves her back at the like the hotel or the
Yeah.
Airbnb that he gets. And I went over to hang out after a show one time. Man, she was so sweet. I was just sitting there playing with her the whole time.
Oh yeah. The I have such a huge soft spot for bulldogs.
I love them. My dog's a pit bull corgi mix, so she
Hmm.
basically just looks like a really small Scooby Doo. All muscle though, like a pit bull. Like her whole body is just muscle.
Yeah. Yeah, I've most dogs that I've had since getting together with my wife have all been either uh, French bulldogs or English bulldogs. We've had a couple Great Danes. One of them had some issues when we adopted him, and he has since passed. And then my wife, for 1 year for Christmas, got me a Great Dane puppy, and I was literally in the middle of recording with somebody when she was just acting off. And yeah, we
Mhm.
didn't come home with her that night.
That's
Yeah. Luckily, the person I was recording with was more than understanding about it. So, all right. Now, I always ask this one because I would feel weird with the name of a show like I have if I didn't. Favorite drink, whether alcoholic or non, because I always tell people just because it says drinking at Moe's does not mean that it has to be alcoholic.
So I don't really drink alcohol that often anymore. When I did, it was a Maker's Mark sour.
Mm.
I'm from Kentucky. I like good bourbon. Like,
Oh, yeah.
I didn't stop because of alcoholism. I stopped for a medical reason, and I've gotten my gallbladder out since then. So, like, on special occasions, I've had a little sip, but it's Maker's Mark. But normally, I'd either drink. Well, so I used to drink Big Red when it came to soda, but
Mm.
my gallbladder's come out. It makes me sick. So now I just drink
Mm.
Coca-Cola because after like death matches, especially, I need caffeine. I don't
I
drink
can
soda all week once
I
I
can
bleed like
imagine.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, I know I'm a bit of a Dr. Pepper fiend, and I always did enjoy Big Red whenever I could find it.
hmm It's a southern. You can get it in southern Indiana, Kentucky. I think all the way down to Georgia. I'm not sure where
Yeah,
exactly it cuts off, but it's a southern drink.
yeah, well, you find it every so often up here in Omaha, but it's like you really have to know where to look.
Yeah, that's always how I can tell how far north we are when we go into a gas station and I can't find a Big Red. I normally look at the boys and like, we're in the north now, boys.
Yeah, that is one of the ways you can probably tell. All right, now, best advice either that you've been given or that you have for anybody thinking of getting into the wild world of professional wrestling?
Um, I think the best advice, I feel like it's been repeated to me just in different ways throughout the years, is always work the gimmick. Meaning, like, if you're in a match, like, say we're tag team wrestlers, right? The gimmick of that match is tag team wrestling, 2-on-2. So really work into that. If you're in a ladder match, use that ladder. If you're in a death match, use your weapons. Just know how to use that gimmick in telling your story. And we've been told that, like I said, multiple times in different ways.
Oh yeah, and no, it's definitely important with especially with like death match wrestling because like I've had the talks with John Wayne Murdoch, with Alex Colon, and various others. When deathmatch wrestling is done right, it's just like any other genre of wrestling. You have the storytelling and all that, and it's not just what you see in like backyard wrestling videos and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. Each death match has its own type. Because like I said, our match against Heater and Sean Campbell a couple weeks ago, and then back on 420 up in Detroit, we faced Gigi Jacobs and Jake Shepard, Sexy Violence in a no ring death match. We do those different than we would do a normal death match because we walk into those like it's a bar fight.
Mm.
So chaos, brutality, violence. But if we're in a ring, we know that you gotta have levels to it. You can't just go straight for the biggest weapon. You gotta build up towards it. Like you start with a chair. Like when we faced Randy and Shorty, instead of going straight for the big thing, me and Randy, she pulls out her bob wire bat, I pull out a gusset bat, and we have a sword fight. Like we build weapons and then using the TV and gusset, like a gusset board, stuff like that. You
Yeah.
gotta, like you said, like we were talking, know the gimmick of the match and you work that into how you're gonna tell your story.
Oh yeah. All right. Well, before we go, where can people find you social media wise? So if they don't already have their eyes on you, they can go ahead and get them there.
So my X, or formerly known as Twitter, my Instagram is Slutty Bruiser. That is one of my nicknames. Then you can find us on Facebook at The Bruisers. Then you can find Robert on Twitter, X, and Instagram under Robert Ketchum with an AKA. Then you can go to our Brainbuster Tea store. I'm actually wearing one of them tonight or today, and find our shirts. We have like a lot on there. I have a
Okay.
lot of ideas, and I have friends that'll make them for me when I'm bored.
I get you there.
But it has changed since last time. I finally got a hold of the people that run Brainbuster Tees, and now you search the Bruisers instead of having to search my name. So Brainbuster Tees, the Bruisers.
Okay. Yeah, no, we'll definitely get all
Um,
of that in the description. That
and
is
keep an eye out.
about, oh, go ahead.
Just keep it close eye. And keep on our social media.
Oh,
Facebook,
you're
Bruisers. I
cutting.
post all. That's probably where I update the most.
Where
We
again?
got some
Because
more
you're
stuff coming
cutting
this
out
summer.
there.
Oh, I said, definitely keep an eye on our socials, especially the Facebook. That's where we update the most.
Okay.
Uh, we got a lot more stuff coming this summer that just hasn't been announced yet.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Yeah, no, I'll be making sure to keep everybody posted, get that in the description. That is about all I have. Want to thank you for taking the time to talk to me, especially on your road trip you're on. Hope you have a good weekend with all that.
And
Best
thanks,
of
man.
luck. Best of luck out there this summer. Chaotic combat wrestling and Flophouse and everything they got going on. Send
Yeah.
my love out to Schwartzy next time you see him. Love the
Oh, of
guy.
course. Hey, send me the name of some promotions out near you. I'm gonna try to find a way so we can get you to see us in a live show.
Definitely, I will definitely
Yeah.
get on that. All right, that is about it. Thank you, and have a good weekend there.
You too, man.